Okay, so we are looking at your purple sheet. So your tests for quadrilaterals. The test for a trapezoid. We're not doing trapezoids today, but just as a reminder. What do we do first to test if it's a trapezoid?
Find the slope of all four sides.
What do you need to know about those slopes?
You have one set of the same slope as the trapezoid.
One set of parallel sides. And only one. Meaning they have the same slope. Then you have a trapezoid. Then, then you check if it's isosceles. How do you check if it's isosceles?
You go from that last step and find the distance of the diagonal superposition.
Yeah, so we do the distance. I heard a lot of you say that. So you find the distance of both diagonals and if they're congruent. So a lot of you guys already have this one on there, so that's why I went a little bit quicker. But just as a reminder, that's how we determine a trapezoid. On the other hand, if we're dealing with a parallelogram, it still starts the same. What do we still do first? We still find the slope of all four sides, but this time you're looking for how many sets of sides to be parallel? Both, sorry. Guys, we don't need to be talking. Can you please stop? Based on the quiz you guys took the other day, you are not ready for this test because you are not studying your properties. So you might want to listen to me while I'm reviewing some of these things. You understand me? Ian, your quiz is with Mrs. Jackson. If both sets of parallel sides, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Sides are parallel, right? Then it is a parallelogram. Jill, I think you have a quiz too that you haven't taken yet. So then you have to do this. These two steps need to be done regardless. So a rectangle is the next step because you don't have to add anything else to it. You check to see if consecutive sides are and for a rhombus, you have to do the slope of the, and they need to be, so really you're not adding anything else on for a square. You know what's going to happen for a square? Both 3 and 4 are true. If both steps 3 and 4 are true, you have a square. So are we doing any more work than we've been doing before then? No, you just need to make sure you understand that if it's just two sets of parallel sides, then it's a parallelogram. If you have two sets of parallel sides with consecutive sides perpendicular, then it's a rectangle. If you have both sets of parallel sides and just the diagonals perpendicular, then it's a rhombus. But if you have all of these things, then it's a square. Okay, does everybody got that? All right, so let's move on here. If a quadrilateral is both a rhombus and a rectangle, then it is a square. So that's because it has 4 right angles like a rectangle and 4 congruent sides like a rhombus, and it has the opposite sides parallel like a parallelogram. So those properties are super important why we're doing those things. I don't think there's many notes today. right? Isn't it just 2 examples? So I should be fine to get you guys your quizzes back and the remediation worksheet if you guys need to remediate that last quiz, which I would strongly suggest doing, but you only have next week to do it. Because the end of quarter is next Friday. Okay, use numerical evidence to determine whether the following figure with the given vertices is a quadrilateral, trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, or square. List all the classifications that apply, then circle the most precise. So, first of all, we have our sides. How many of you prefer to use the slope formula? Okay. How many of you prefer to count? Okay, so I'll do one with counting and one with the slope formula because it seems about 50-50. So AB equals, BC equals, CD equals, and AD equals. So I have 4 minus 2, 0 minus a negative 5. So that is 2 over 5. Negative 4 minus, or negative 1 minus 4, 0 minus, or oops, I did that out of order. 2 minus 0 is negative 5 over 2. It's going to bother me though, that's not clear. So no matter what, if it's a parallelogram, you have to check if it's a rectangle and a rhombus in every single case. Do you guys understand that? No matter what, if it's a trapezoid, you have to check the diagonals that are congruent in any case. Just so you realize that for your test. Or for your quiz. So you have negative 3 minus a negative 1 over negative 3 minus 2. So that is negative 2 over negative 5, which is a positive 2/5. So that's negative 3 minus 2 over negative 3 minus a negative 5, which is negative 5 over 2. Okay. Are opposite sides parallel? How many? So trapezoid or parallelogram? So far we have a quadrilateral that is a parallelogram. So the next thing we have to check is if consecutive sides are perpendicular. Are my consecutive sides perpendicular? Yes. Opposite reciprocals, they flip and change the sign. So we also have a rectangle. So what do we have to check next now that we know it's a parallelogram and a rectangle? To see if it's a rhombus. How do we check if it's a rhombus, guys? The diagonals. So we find the slope of the diagonals. So that's negative 1 minus 2 over 2 minus negative 5. So that's negative 3 over 7. Okay, and then BD is negative 3 minus 4 over negative 3 minus 0, which is negative 7 over negative 3, which is 7 over 3. So these two are, which makes this a. If you're both a rhombus and a rectangle, then you are a. Is that the most specific? So since both of these are true, it makes this a square. So not much more than what we've already been doing, right guys? You guys see how it's pretty much the same as what we've been doing? Okay. Last one. Use numerical evidence to determine whether the figure with the given vertices is a quadrilateral, trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, or square. List all the classifications and circle the most precise. So I have EF, FG, GH, and EH. So EF is up 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4. So that has a slope of positive 1/4. So I'm just going to count it this time to show you guys that one. What?
That's not what I got when I did
EF. 3 minus 2.
Oh.
FG is up 1, 2, 3, 4, left 1. So that's 4 over negative 1, which is negative 4. HG is down 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So that's negative 1 over negative 4, which is 1/4. And the last one there is down 1, 2, 3, 4, right 1. So that is the slope of negative 4 over 1, which is just negative 4. So let's look at this. How many sets of sides are parallel? 2. So we have a quadrilateral that is a parallelogram so far. Is my parallelogram a rectangle? Yeah, are my consecutive sides perpendicular? Yes, they are. Opposite reciprocals. So we definitely have a rectangle. So now we have to check the what? What do we have to check? The diagonals are perpendicular as well. See if it's a rhombus. So FH is up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2, 3. So that's 5/3. And EG is down 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So that's negative 3 over 5. Are those perpendicular?
Yep.
So do we have a rhombus? Yep. So what else do we have then? A square. Since we have both of these, it is a square, which is the most specific. And we are done.